So, hello everyone, and welcome to Exciting Nuclei. And today we are going to see the three main keywords in Python, which help in many things. And these are break, continue, and pass. And also we are going to see when and why. And this is also going to be on hands-on learning. So let's just start it. So let me switch my screen really quick. Uh, Here, I believe my screen is visible to everyone. So our file name is break and continue. First of all, let's write the topics, and the topics are break, continue, and pass. So before moving on to the coding part, let me just explain you why these statements exist. So I don't know whether we should call them statements or keywords or anything specific functions. So for now, let's just call them statements. So let's discuss why these statements actually exist in Python. So as their name suggests, break, that means to stop something from working further. Continue, that means keep going on. And pass means that you can say that skipping, or you can say do nothing, something like that, if we are talking about the coding context. So let's see how why this statement exists. So let's say if if we have a you can say if we have to run a while loop, but also there is a situation when we don't know if our loop is going to be converted into something like infinite loop or something. And also let's say if we are doing some for loop and we want to skip some iterations, so in that case we use a continuous statement. Also if we let's say if we are working in some loops or continual execution, and we want to set if the input is invalid, then exit the loop or stop the loop. In that case we use break statement. And the pass, I'm going to show you hands-on. So basically to control so these exist to control the execution of loops, functions, and other iterative statement, iterative and conditional statements. So this is the core purpose of existence of these, you can say, statements. So let's implement them and so on. So first we are going to see the break statement. So uses of break statement. So first, before that, let me quickly write this loop while let's say anything else. So let x is equal to 10. Sorry. So while x is greater than 0, print x. And then what we are going to do is we are going to decrease 1 every time of in this iteration. And let's run this statement and see how the output looks. So as you can see, our statement starts from 10 then takes it to the 1, and then stops the iteration because the condition x equal to 0 met, which is actually false for the given condition. So that's why the loop stop. Now, what if I want to, you can say, break the this loop when it reaches 5? So in that case, there we can add a condition if x is equal to 5, then do what? Break this statement. Sorry, else continue printing the numbers. So if you run this statement, so what it is going to do is, let's just run this code and see. So as you can see that this time our function only prints until 6. And why so? Because of this break statement. So this stops the loop when x reaches 5. So I hope the break statement is quite clear to you all. So to further explain this again, let's see. What if we want to, let's say, if we want to skip some iterations, or let's say, let's take a problem statement for that case to understand the next statement, which is continue. Now, to understand this further, let us take an example. Example like print only, print even number till 10 inclusive. That means we have to print numbers like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So if you want only to print these number, so what we can do is quite simple. We are going to use for I in range. This time we are going to pass 11 because the range works from 0 to n minus 1. And let's just try to print this first and see how our output is going to be. So when we run this code, as you can see that our statement starts from, oh, I think the upper loop also executed with it. Let's just comment it out to further avoid the, you can say, confusion. And yeah, so now let's execute this again. And as you can see that we have printed the number from 0 to 10. Now what if we want to print only even number, and then we can add just a simple statement like if I modulus 2 equal to 0, or maybe yeah, maybe else. Now there are two situations where we can use break. Now let's just, we have learned the break statement, so why not use this first and see what it returns. So as you can see that it only stops at 0. So what our main objective was? Our main objective was to print numbers like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Now to print this statement, either we have to, you can say, every time we have to increase the I with 2, or we can just pass the number list, or you can say range of numbers, and just check some condition and then print out. But the main issue that arises here is that break statement actually, you can say, stop the execution of this conditional statement and the loop, while in this case, which is not a feasible process. So to do that, we have a statement called continue. So as I described previously, what continue is continue does that if you enter into some certain condition, just continue the loop and do nothing. So that's the situation actually fit for the explanation of the continue statement. And now when I run that, we get our desired output. So I hope the continue is also clear to all. Now for the pass statement, I would rather copy this again, and also let me comment this out so that it does not create any problem. Yeah. So let's say if we want to use pass statement, and I print this the loop the same way, and rather than continue, I put the pass. Let's just keep it clear and just put the pass statement here. And our question is just the same as previously, that to print numbers from 0 to 10, and only the numbers which are even, and the 10 is inclusive. So let's just run it and see what it does. So voila, we got the same output. And why so? That's quite simple to understand. That means whenever we are actually doing things like you can say printing some numbers based on some conditions. So what continue does is just continue the loops and skips that iteration. While the pass statement is quite special and does the same thing. Now, what's the main difference between the continue and pass? You might be wondering right now. So to answer that, let's say if we are defining a function, let's say even number, and here we just put the is the numbers. So now let's say if we want to check if a number is even or not, or maybe you can say that this is a group of numbers that we are going to pass, and we want to fill that function on the later date, or you can say if you want to complete this function later, but if you just want to place it in this file just to maintain the structure and maintain the you can say foundation for our later code replacement. So in that case, if we use this number, if we use this function, and let's say 1, so what it does, it actually does nothing. Why is that? Because what pass says that I am defining a function, but I don't know what I'm going to put into it. Or you can say I am not going to complete this function right now, or maybe I'm going to complete this function on the later date, like tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and so on. So in that case, pass statement help us to you can say set up the skeleton of the code or the structure of the code, uh, and why this function is present there while doing nothing. It is not going to interrupt our the rest of the code. So basically this is not going to interrupt everything else that are running and that is going to run in the background. So let's say if we did not write any argument such as pass here. So what it is going to do is it's just going to return a sum. Also, sorry. Mm, so as you can see that what it is going to do is it is not returning any kind of output here. Why is that? Because we haven't used this function at all, and we have not completed this function anything or anything. So as you can see that even numbers is actually an empty function. and what it say that after the function there is an unexpected indent block, or it is saying that if we want some indent block and some code present in the function definition, but we want to left this function as it is and run the code that is present in the above, that is present above the that same file. So in that case, that's why we put an indent block then pass statement. So this time, as you can see, our code executes and our answer matches our statement. So to conclude that, uh, the break, continue, and pass statement are actually some control statements that controls the flow, or you can say loops and conditional statements in a Python code. So what break does is it basically stops the execution. What continue does is if we are using some loop or some iterative condition, iterative you can say statements. So that means the continue will do is skip that particular iteration and move on to the next one without throwing us some error or some workaround the code. And the pass is actually usable while we are defining the functions. That I am not saying you can't use it like this here, but you can say pass is much more like more usable during the function and the class definitions. We will discuss the function and classes later, but just keep in mind that the pass does the same as continue, but it is more usable while defining the functions and class and object-oriented programming. So that's all about the today's lecture. Hope you liked it, and please share your feedback if you find something you can say unappealing or uninteresting. So thank you.